Hello everyone, my name is Vimal Raj. I'm a lecturer from Mechanical Department from James Polytechnic College. So according to SPT syllabus, this is a topic water pollution from Environmental and Pollution Control, that is 1625503. So the lecture is number 8 and we're going to discuss about the effects of pollution of water and prevention. So the content that we're going to discuss today is what is a water pollution, what are the effects of water pollution, and what are the prevention methods. So what is a water pollution? Water pollution is defined as the presence in the groundwater of toxic chemicals and biological agents that exceed what is naturally found in the water and may pose a threat to human health and or the environment. Additionally, water pollution may consist of chemical introduced into the water bodies as a result of various human activities. Any amount of those chemicals pollutes the water regardless of the harm they may pose to human health and the environment. So basically water pollution is nothing but the presence of impurities, the presence of toxic chemicals which exceeds naturally, which causes the water pollution. So these water pollution, when water pollution occurs, when these chemicals are mixed with this water and the content or the ratio present in the water, if it exceeds more than that, if it's not consumable and which causes pollution. So with this video you could have understand that uh, how this water has been polluted and what is the causes of water pollution and what is the impact of water pollution on the aquatic life as well as the human being. The effects of water pollution. This is disease. In humans, drinking or consuming polluted water in any way has many disastrous effects on our health. It causes typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and various other diseases. So we can understand from this water pollution, because when we take this polluted water, it creates a problem. It creates a change in our body, and because of that, what happens is it causes typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and various other diseases, which is a great impact on humans. So this is how the things happening. The water is being polluted and it is not good for consumable. So see, people are drinking water from the roadside areas and this is not recommendable, because we doesn't know that how this water is there and how the pollution is happening, all those things, because people always are really in need of water, because water is very much required for every human, because even we can live without food for 2 or 3 days, but we cannot live without water for 2 or 3 days, because water is very necessity, because in water we have oxygen, which is good for us to increase our RBC, that is red blood corpuscles, and what is very important that it creates digestion, as well as it takes away the all the germs in our stomach. It eradicates all those things. So what is very important, so when these things happens, it creates a major problem. So these chemical contents or the particles, that is impurities, which is present in the water, which is not recommendable for human to take. The destruction of ecosystems. So ecosystems are extremely dynamic and respond to even small change in the environment. Water pollution can cause an entire ecosystem to collapse if left unchecked. That is how it happens. So when the video itself we saw, right, that after the water has been polluted because of this pollution, toxic chemicals which is mixed in the water, what happens is the fishes and the aquatic creature that lives inside the water might be affected because of that. So when it's been affected, what happens is, when it has been affected, obviously it will kill the uh, aquatic creatures in the seas and oceans, because that is not recommendable for the fish, that for the aquatic creatures also. So when we do not check those things, we are not checking it correctly, what happens is automatically there will be a collapse, and the total ecosystem might be in big trouble. So we know that most of the areas, most of the people in our India are really in need of this thing called fishing. So many people depend on fishing for their income, for things like that. So when these things are happening, means if suppose a oil spillage is happening in the sea, like outbreak of this uh, oil leakages happening in the sea, it is also causing a major pollution, as well as some toxic chemical is being released into the water, like dumping of this chemical in the water, that is also causes a great pollution. So these are the destructions of ecosystem. Next one is the eutrophication. So in the previous video itself we have discussed about the eutrophication. Eutrophication, the chemicals in the water bodies encourage the growth of algae. These algae form a layer on top of ponds or lakes. Bacteria feed on this algae, and this decreases the amount of oxygen in the water body, severely affecting the aquatic life there. So this picture shows you that algae, the green layer that is on the above of this water is the algae. So these are formed with the nitrogen, as well as formed on the water pollution. So when these things forms on the layer of water, what happens is it takes the oxygen, from the water, and which is lead to the dying of the aquatic creatures. And we can see the color of the water itself. The color of the water should be white in color, but when you go to the beach and all, we see the color of the water will be black or green, blue, something like that. What it shows that is the water has been polluted, because so much of spilling of oil has been happening in the mid of the sea, and so much of factories and industries are dumping their chemical waste in the water, and not maintaining. And even people who visit near the beach and all, they throw this garbages or the plastics into the water. That also causes these kind of effects, and which is very which is not at all good, because these things are being fed with by the bacteria, and when they are fed by with bacteria, these algae drastically decrease the amount of oxygen present in the water, and which causes a enormous pollution in the water. So the fishes and all, they cannot survive that. See, affects the food chain. The disruption in food chains happens when toxins and pollutants in the water are consumed by aquatic animals, fish, shellfish, etc., which are then consumed by humans. So effects of, example of food chain, like little fishes eat tiny organic particles, big fishes eat tiny fish, and human also eat fish. Basically, these things will be totally affected because of the disrupted food chain, because when the water has been polluted, the small tiny fishes will not survive. Basically, they will not have food. These things will go and eat this algae, which is a bacterial thing, and which have chemicals. When they eat, they will die. And when these big fishes go and eat those small fishes, obviously it is dyed with these chemicals. When these things will eat, they will also die. So when these fishes die, how human can eat this fish? So the effect of the food chain is major, and which is more tremendous, because everything will be totally in a disruptive way when it is not managed or not checked. Because this water pollution is very important, because water is a major source for everything, right? As a people of India, we totally depend on water for agriculture purpose, and for other purposes also we require water. So when water is not there, when the water content is decreasing, what happens is obviously there will be big demand in agriculture, and we know agriculture is the backbone of India, and we export so much of agricultural things to other countries. So what if this stops? Obviously it will lead to a big chaos, and the poverty level will be increasing because of the water pollution. And people who is living nearby the sea areas and all, they might not have a good life because they might face cholera or uh, some other disease like pneumonia, those kind of fevers they'll get. Some kind of disease they will be affected because they will be exposed directly to the water. They will be exposed directly to the polluted water, which causes a great effect. And we all know that water is very very important, that every day at least we need to consume 6 liter of water per day, and if we fail to consume that, we will face some like kidney liver problems. So many things will happen, right? So it is that we should really take care our health. So water is very very important, that we should really look into it. So what could be the prevention methods? First one is, the best way to prevent a large scale water pollution is to try and reduce its harmful effects. There are various small changes we can make to protect ourselves from a scary future where water is scarce. That means the best way to prevent large scale water pollution is to try to reduce the harmful effects. That is like we should insist the factories and other things that not to dump any chemical things into the water, because when they are dumping everything in the sea, automatically the ecosystem as well as the food chain, everything will be collapsed, and obviously we will be suffering because our need is food, right? So small things can be implemented so that everything can be followed, because when all the water has been polluted, where we will go for drinking water? So there will be a future in which we there will be a scarcity for water will happen. So we have to look into that also. Next one is save water. Conserving water is our first aim. Water wastage is a major problem globally, and we are only now waking up to the issue. Simply small changes you can make domestically will make a huge difference. Just I want to make an example that when you see about the other countries, like foreign countries, like, for example America or some other countries, they pay tax for water. Comparatively, we pay tax here for water also, but the tax that they pay will be more than their EB, that is electric bills will be less comparatively for water, because the water that they use they have to pay, and the water they dispose they have to pay. So that is the reason they used to they used to save the water in a good way, because the water wastage is very very reduced in those areas, because they know the value of water. So that's the reason they save the water, and because of that, what happens is they pay more money for water. For drinking water they pay more money, and the water that goes out from the house to the from the for to the drainage also they have to pay. So conserving of water is very very important, and our government should insist people should to save the water, because water is very very important, that we should look into it. So one is better treatment of sewage. So treating waste products before depositing of it in a water body helps reduce water pollution on a large scale. Agriculture or other industries can reuse their water waste by reducing its toxic content. So sewage treatment is very very important, that because so treating the waste products before depositing to its water body can help to reduce the water pollution. So before these waste disposal being deposited in the water, they have to do the sewage treatment. So when they do this, toxic chemicals can be removed, and after that, if it's been uh, put in the water also, it will not create a pollution. So the industry should do that. So government has to insist that the sewage treatment is very very important, because the sewage will carry all those things, so it can be stopped. This one is use environmentally friendly products. By using soluble products that do not go on to become pollutant, we can reduce the amount of water pollution is caused by the households. So like soluble products, like the products which can melt easily, we can use those soluble products. With that, we can easily uh, reduce the pollution, because most of the pollution happens is through the household items. So if we reduce those things, then automatically the pollution can be reduced, because if you go and see the drainage system, the drainage will have all the things which can cause some major pollution. So government can do that also, so that we can prevent the pollution. So with that, we have come to the conclusion. The summary that is, we have seen in detail study on what is water pollution and learned about the effects of pollution, water, and the prevention method. So this is a reference book. So with this, we have come to the conclusion for the lecture number 8, and thank you for seeing this video. So we will see the next topic in next video. Thank you.